everybody, and welcome to Project Talk, your favorite 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Eastern Seaboard live stream chat. I guess this is the part where I say thank you so much for tuning in. No, I'm just kidding. But there is only a couple of you watching right now, so I'm gonna run down the chat really fast. We got Brian, who does get bragging rights for being first. Ellen Osborne and Ollie is here. So I guess it's just the four of us tonight. So we'll just hang out. It'll be cool. It'll be like just a small click type group. It's all good. It's all good. So James is not with me tonight because his mom stopped paying me to be his friend. So I stopped being his friend. Sorry, he stopped paying. And no, honestly, he had some family issues come up and he had to go take care of. Nothing bad, nothing emergency, just some scheduling issues. So he will not be here. So I have the laser just to the other side of I say just to the other side, about 4 feet behind this monitor that I stare at, and the camera being above that. I just realized that the laser is actually reflecting off of that very light gray wall over there, and I don't know what that's going to do to me. So I'm going to not look at the camera. I'm going to look just down here at this monitor for the evening, which is usually where I'm looking anyway, because James's face is usually there. So don't get weirded out that I'm not looking directly into the camera. I'm just trying to not pick up that flash off the wall. And I'm also trying to not have to do the whole entire stream like this, because this really messes with me. So, but welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're here. It's going to be a little bit of a weird one, being that, it has been a long time since I've done a stream by myself and not had somebody to directly interact with. So I would greatly appreciate lots of action in the comments tonight. I'm trying to think of all the things that I was supposed to tell you as we got going. You guys want all three of you want to see the laser? So I started it. It was about 4. Yeah, I think it was right at about 4 o'clock. This is my regular logo, like what's on my Fun King t-shirts. So it's the small head over the top of the text, and we'll see how that goes. In fact, we can go to this. Nope, not that one. We'll get rid of that. Give me a second, and I'm going to. Where are you? Detail with main. Well, we don't want that display capture on there. So, whoop. Now it's just a black screen. Technology is so hard. Hello, Alan. Hello, Mark. All right, so we're up to 5 of us hanging out in here now. Still a small, tight-knit group. It's cool. It's cool. I won't go through it every time somebody comes in, but just so you guys know, James is not with me tonight. He had some scheduling issues with his family, so he could not be here. I guess I can show you. Now, let me get this fixed. Let me get this fixed so that I don't understand why that's not working. That's why. Okay, for whatever reason, I turned that camera off last week to put the screen share up. But so there she is, just burning away. Uncle Ron did send me a file, which was just the Fun King head, and it's greatly appreciated that he did so. But there was an issue in the corner of the mouth. It was like bubbled out, and I didn't like it. I know it's very nitpicky, but that logo it's very important to me. So this was actually from a PNG file. It's an image of the front of the t-shirt. So I just threw that in there and let the software convert it, put some burns on it. We'll see what happens. Hey, Paul. Happy Halloween to you as well. Now, we will be streaming next weekend, even though it's Halloween weekend. Halloween's on Monday. I have stuff on Saturday night and stuff on Monday night, but nothing going on Sunday night. So there's no reason that I can't be here. So we will absolutely have a stream next Sunday afternoon. It's very like woodsy fire in here, and I would say that it's making my eyes kind of burn, but I don't think it's that. I think it's because I've been playing video games for 2 days. Got my costume. Yeah, I go as a very dangerous inmate who broke out of the insane asylum every year. And I made a crucial mistake. I cut my hair today, if you didn't notice. And I should have left it and then just like hacked it all up crazy for next weekend. But I didn't think about it until after I cut it all off. So hello, MJ. Oh, there's Uncle Ron right there. I was just talking about you, Uncle Ron. I said that you had sent me the Fun King head, but I didn't end up using it because there was a bubble in the corner of the mouth, and I didn't like it. Drove me crazy, and I didn't know how to fix it. So this is just the front of the T-shirt logo. Oh, let's see, how many are we up to now? 7 of us in here tonight. That just shows that everybody shows up to watch James and not me. So now the truth is out there. No, because we didn't tell anybody. He wasn't sure. He may still show up. He had told me last week that scheduling might be a little bit tight, that he could be late or whatever. But he did message me this week and said that some stuff got shifted around, and it was 99% likely he wouldn't be here. So, so I said, it's fine. I used to stream by myself occasionally. I think I can do it again. I think I can figure it out. And I don't even have Xander tonight because he's at a church function. So it's just me. It's just me. So Paul asked, are laser easy to work with? For the most part, yeah. I'm having a little bit of a learning curve with the software. And I'm sure as you get into stuff like Uncle Ron did a flask, which would have a curved surface, that would be a little bit weird. And then there's also the, I'm going to call it a rotisserie for rotary, I don't know, but where you can do tumblers. So I'm sure that gets a little different as well. But I mean, for the most part, it is straight up. It's G-code. So it is a lot like a 3D printer without the Z. Now, I do want to clarify something because, as you guys know, when I say something and then I find out I was wrong, I like to clarify that I was wrong. And I have to say that it was either last week's stream or the week before. I told you guys by the specs that I was reading that this thing could cut 13 millimeter acrylic, which seemed really thick to me because I was fairly certain I had read that it cut 6 millimeter. So here's the deal. This is the SculptFun S4, which cuts 6 millimeter acrylic, according to them. We're going to test that maybe next week. The specs that I was reading was for the S9, which is the newer model, which is in the same price point as where the S4 was when I got this. So you'd be better off getting the S9. It's got a little bit more punch, and it claims to cut 13 millimeter acrylic. So I just wanted to clarify that so that when we go burning some acrylic and I can't cut 6 millimeter, we'll know that's what it was. Uncle Ron said, quick update on Poppy Ron. He had surgery for his ulcer thingy this morning and is back in his room sleeping at the moment. Fantastic. So it sounds like everything went well, and that's good. I worry about stuff like that. If you guys don't know, Poppy Ron is family to me. Uncle Ron is absolutely family to me. I didn't know Uncle Ron before 3D printing came along. I met Uncle Ron through 3D printing. My kids actually gave him the nickname Uncle Ron. And then come to find out his dad lives like 10 minutes, 15 minutes from here. And Uncle Ron actually had a house also in that same neighborhood. So I'm technically neighbors with Poppy Ron. And then, I meet Uncle Ron, who lives out of state, just coincidentally through 3D printing, which was pretty amazing. So, yeah. So those of you who are just joining us, James is not here. Calm down. Calm down. It's okay. It's okay. You're stuck with just me tonight. But as you can see, we are burning some wood, and this started right about 4 o'clock. It claims 1 hour and 37 minutes, I think it was. I don't see it on my screen now, but and then I almost thought, oh, I'll wait until the stream starts, but I want to make sure that it is done before the stream is over. One, in case I want to run a second pass on anything, or in some cases a third pass on some things, and also because I don't want to have to sit out here after it's done, because when the stream's done, it's time for me to eat, and that's important to me. I like food a lot. But so let's see. This week, I don't know if you guys caught it, but I did release my video on Friday at 10 a.m. Right on time. 2 weeks late. I did miss one video in between. This one, oh my God, this video. It was almost 8.5 hours of footage across 3 cameras and 2 audio sources. And the biggest problem I guess the biggest problem is I'm a really funny guy, and sometimes I say funny things, and I want to make sure those don't get cut out. No, honestly, the biggest problem was that I started that project with the intent of it being one thing, and it turned out to be another thing. So I almost should have planned that to be 2 videos. I did not feel it could be broken up into 2 at that point. So it was fine. It went out as one. I shaved 8.5 hours worth of video down to 48 minutes. And I probably could have got another 5 to 10 out of it if I would have really tried. But at some point I had to give up. And then you guys got to understand too, I have to watch that video 1,000 times. And then I have to watch it again at the end. And when it's, an hour long, I have to watch it just to make sure that I didn't put any flub ups in there. Not that I care. I mean, I make mistakes. It doesn't matter. But I like to catch them if I can. So, but if you haven't yet caught that, and then, of course, that is on the Garage channel. If you haven't caught that, do me a favor and go play it. You can mute it and go do something else. I don't care. Just let it play. I need the watch time. No, I think overall it was a pretty good lesson, kind of to show you on anything, whether it's automotive or not, that you can go into something 99% sure it's one thing and it turns out to be something completely different, like just totally a curveball. And that was there, definitely. So that cost a couple of bucks and lots of time, because you figure 8.5 hours worth of filming was really more like 14 hours worth of actual work. So, is that a sign for the outhouse door? That's pretty funny. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I guess it's going to depend on how it looks. It'll probably end up like maybe on the wall behind me, or I don't know. It'll end up somewhere. Mark said 4th axis. Oh, for the rotary? I guess it would be. On this, it would be the 3rd axis, because the Z doesn't, I mean, you can adjust the Z for burning, but it doesn't move on its own. But what kind of software does it use? I'm actually running through Lightburn. It's really anything that can handle a Gerber-based laser. But Lightburn, like $60, but it seems to be a pretty good piece of software. So, what wattage is the laser at? 1 billion. Oh, I totally messed that up. 3.21 gigawatts. Gigawatts. Let me look to see what it actually is. This is the Sculpt Fun S4. And again, the S9 is the one that I have in the link in the description. You can get a extension kit for it to make it longer. Can you burn on glass? I don't know. Uncle Ron should be able to answer that question. Laser machine. I'd love to have like a legit S6. Maybe this is the S6. I thought it was the S4. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm pretty sure it was the S4. The S6 has a way too many specifications. Just show me what I want to know. I don't know. 5.5 watt? No. Spot compressed, ultra thin focused laser. The latest 5.5 watt LD plus FAC spot compressed laser has an ultra fine 0.08 millimeter square laser focus. Which is 2 times thinner than ordinary lasers. $5.5 to 6 watts for the S6. I don't know. I thought it was bigger than that. I think that the S9, the one that I have linked in the description, I think that is a 100 watt laser. Yep, I don't know. The S9 is a 90 watt, according to GearBest, if they know what they're talking about. I don't know. You guys ask me questions that I don't know. What do I know about lasers? I just started. I know it'll put an eye out, kid. Maker Viking sliding in. Hello, Tomas. Easy to build. Yep, absolutely. In fact, Zach and I built this thing. When and if I get around to actually making the video, you'll see some highlights of Zach and I putting that together. And when I say Zach and I mean he really hands down, got his hands on it. So that was pretty cool. Uncle Ron said, from what I heard, spray glass with a zinc spray paint and you can etch it. I've seen them do that with tile. If you spray paint the tile, like a ceramic tile, and then etch onto that, it burns the spray paint in where you etch, and then you can wash off the rest of the tile. But again, this is all new to me. I've had this thing for way too long and just didn't get into it. Life gets in the way. I have too many hobbies. So, and I had full intentions on having the Prusa running tonight during this stream, and I didn't get to slice in the files for that. I need to make an Anakin Skywalker lightsaber hilt for Zach for his Halloween costume. And in that process, I want to get the Prusa slicer installed on this machine down here with all of my profiles from my machine upstairs also down here, so that I can slice from either location. Because right now all the slicing has to take place upstairs. Then I come down here to lay it out. So my hobby is collecting hobbies. Yeah. I used to have a shirt that said King of Unfinished Projects. Yeah. But so does anybody know with Prusa's slicer with the Prusa slicer. Can you store your profiles on a network drive and share them amongst instances so that I would only have one set of profiles that both slicers would see? So if I make a change on one, it makes it on the other one. How's that for a great 3D printing tech question? If you guys don't know, I might have to reach out to support. I know this guy there. Oh, and then the truck had to undergo the knife again. Big problems, big problems. No, not really. Just the batteries went bad in it, which I knew was coming. It got to the point where I was having to jump start it off of a jump box every time. So it just, I only drive it like once, maybe twice a week. And it was just getting rougher and rougher. And I went out to, I couldn't even use the key code on the side of it yesterday to unlock the doors. And so then I knew that they were really dead. So I had to go get the key and I put the charger on it, and I had the battery charger on, and it's a diesel, so 2 batteries. I put the charger on it for, about 8 hours, and it still wouldn't fire it over. So I took a trip to my favorite store in the whole world, that flea market place called Walmart. I hate that store so much. I absolutely hate it. But I was able to pick up a couple $100 worth of batteries and get those put in today. So she's back up and running. Tip top, starts immediately. Like, you can just tell the difference now as to just even a couple of months ago when I would turn the key and it would start, but you could hear it struggle. So one of the batteries tested completely bad, and the other one tested as not the greatest battery in the world. But I will tell you, and I am going to throw you a affiliate link on this. If you need a portable jump start pack, I'm to the point where I don't carry jumper cables anymore. I just carry this pack. This thing, it's literally this big. It's got a big flashlight on the end of it. It's got 2 little jumper cables, and that thing starts my 6-liter 5.9 diesel engine without hesitation. I mean, unless the batteries are completely dead. But yeah, it'll knock your socks out. And they have smaller ones too, but why would you? Why would you do that? Why put yourself in a situation where it's not going to start? So, and then what I was doing was I actually had it, because you can charge it off the car or you can charge it off a USB, weirdly. But I just kept it in the truck for the last few months, and I would just charge it when I was driving around. So it was always charged up so I could start the truck and drive around. That's how it goes. Oh, you guys are really quiet today. Speak up. Got to get some conversation going. I don't have James. I don't got anybody to talk to. It's just me and my imagination. Oh, how many people we got in here? 8, according to that. Big announcement. I had an opportunity and I took it to buy an 80s Lamborghini Countach in white. My favorite of the Countach colors. Black looks good, but white is definitely my favorite color for the Lamborghini Countach. Now, of course, it needs some work, some assembly required, which I'm okay with because, that's what I do. Here it is. The Lego Speed Champions Lamborghini Countach. I was so excited to find this stupid thing because when they first released this, like, they sold out like hotcakes and you couldn't get one. And I was in the store last night and there it was. I'm like, yes, I got me a Countach. So unfortunately, it's not a real Countach, but maybe someday. Maybe someday. One of my big project I was going to say goals, but dreams is to build a kit car, like a good kit car, not of a Countach, but it made me think of that because there was a lot of kits that you put on Ferrari or on Fiero bodies, which were way too small. But yeah, one of these days I'd like to build a kit car. So, but I may start putting that together today, depending on how the stream goes. I do have a bit of a headache, and of course, this burning wood smell isn't helping. But I have an Aston Martin in the same scale. I've seen the Aston Martin. Yeah, I actually collect these. This isn't a one-time deal. I have probably, I don't know, 10, 12 of these. Not the Countach, that would be ridiculous. But saw a Lamborghini kit a few years ago. They used a mid-'80s Firebird or a Camaro. Yeah, I can remember those. That actually might be what I'm thinking of. I think the Fieros were used for the Ferraris and the Firebird for the Countach, but they're still too little. I had the pleasure of tinting a Lamborghini Countach back when I did that for a living, and the like went to pull it out of the garage and got the lesson that you can't see out the back window, so you actually have to sit with your butt on the door sill, your hand on the steering wheel, and you're leaning out. The door's up like this, and you're looking out the back of the car. Is the only way that you can see to back those things up. But they're not made to go backwards. They're made to go forward and very quickly. So when I pulled it out, my boss, the owner of the company, he said, "Listen, pull it out, put it in the parking lot. That's it." And I said, "Out and in the parking lot." And he goes, "Yep, that's it." So I pulled out of the bay and went to the parking lot, only I went the other way around the block to the parking lot. F-body was only 4-inch difference than the Murcielago. Really? Huh. I don't know. I know some of those kits are really nice. Factory 5 builds some nice stuff. I mean, obviously they don't do the Ferraris. I don't think anybody does a Ferrari kit anymore because of lawsuits, but I seen one of the Factory 5 Shelby, the Cobra 500s, at that car show that I was at a month or so ago. And I was checking it out, and the guy had walked over, and I said, "Is this a Factory 5 kit?" And he goes, "How'd you know it was a kit?" And I'm like, "Seriously? I mean, really? You can always tell they're a kit." But yeah, they're really nice. I absolutely have fallen in love with the Factory 500 GTM, which is built using Corvette C5 donor parts. But I'm also really liking their 818, which uses I can't remember if it's a Subaru. I think it's a Subaru. Donor. In fact, I'm almost sure of it. So if you used an STI as the donor, that car, and the car dry weight is only like 2,200 pounds. So it would be ridiculous. Are you having sun pizza? Like Sunday pizza? No, actually, I don't know what I'm getting for dinner tonight. Both boys are gone, and the wife has already eaten. So Xander has been out applying for jobs all week, which is kind of exciting. He's going to go to work, so I can retire. He doesn't know that yet, but yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's just too bad that I couldn't get him in over at Best Buy because I'd like to have had the discount. For those of you who don't know, when you're an employee at Best Buy, you get everything at 5% over cost. So things like computers, you don't get any discount on. Things like $80 HDMI cables are like $7. Yeah, there's that much markup on HDMI cables. Monoprice.com all the way, baby. Oh. the weather finally broke here. We've had some, well, in fact, when I got out to the garage yesterday morning, it was 70 degrees in there. And that has not happened in a long time. So that was kind of nice. I spent most of the morning yesterday cleaning up out there because it's just it has gotten way out of hand. So Glenn Hogue joining us from Alabama. Bloopers clips. You know, I save every time that I screw up, I save that footage because I was always going to release like a best of bloopers type. And it would take so much work to go through and clip all that stuff out. I should probably start doing it as I'm editing and I find a clip. Like when my wife runs the camera and I'm doing like the interviews, shots and stuff, like we get done and she's like, all the stuff you're not going to use is your best stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but I can't use it. Like, yeah, but it'll be okay. I got to get some more projects going. I don't know if I informed the group, but we have opted out of sick week this year. They finally released the pricing on it, and I can't swing it. I can't swing it. It would be about $600 for Xander and I to go, and that's not counting hotels and stuff. Hotels, food. That's just the tickets for the two of us to go. And as much fun as it would be until Fun King Garage takes off and can start paying the bills. I just can't do it. So that's fine. We're going to put all of our effort into the 66 T-Bird to get it ready for Hot Rod Power Tour, which will be sometime in like June or July when the whole family can go, which will be nice. That'll be our vacation. We didn't take a vacation this year. So, and then as opposed to struggling to get a car ready for, we got spammers. Trying to post pictures. Why would that even remotely work? Sorry, reporting. As opposed to fighting to get a car ready for February. I have a lot coming up in the next couple of weeks, next 5 weeks, as far as getting ready for Christmas lights. So for those of you who don't know, and I think all of you guys do, that I do a big Christmas light display every year, and it is a lot of work, and I usually start entirely too late, and then I struggle to get it done in time, and I'm stressed out. So this year we decided we're going to start right away. In fact, I'm going to start this week putting some stuff together to get ready to start putting it out, and then and not have to wait till the last minute. I don't light them until the day after Thanksgiving. Black Friday is our light up day, but I still have to prep ahead of time because it takes about a month to put everything up. So, but so the next project coming into the garage is a surprise, and I've absolutely decided to not tell anyone. But after that or during that, somehow, it doesn't matter. I will be working on the 66 Thunderbird, as well as my 92 Eagle Talon, and I would love to get my 92 Chevy project back rolling. Not like, get the project going again. So thank you, Mark. Much appreciated for that. Yeah, that made it big time with all them spammers. Yes. But Mark says you can etch on glass. Mark, are you running behind, or are you just answering questions from like 10 minutes ago? Maybe I got lag. It's 5:05 p.m. right now. See when you get that. Etching on glass could be fun though, unless it explodes. I suppose you'd have to be. I mean, maybe not with this unit, but they sell those. It's like a cube, and those might be acrylic now that I'm saying that. Or they like 3D etch your dog or something inside of it. It's not 5:07. You're wrong. It's now 5:06. You're from the future. Paul says it's 4 p.m. here. He's from the past. Stupid time zones. Woo-wee. We're getting all kinds of them today, aren't we? You know, if they would pay me, I'd let them post it. No, not really. So I had, in fact, I have a copy of it. I got an email this week from a company who wants me to promote their product on the channel. And you guys know I love sponsors. I'm great with sponsors. So they, nope, that's not it. So they send me this email and it says, "Dear, I have watched your videos on FunKing 3D and you have done a great job." Oh yeah. "I love your video style very much. We are setting up a new business on packaged gift boxes and products like jewelry and chocolates and hope to extend our business. So can you make a review video for us? We will appreciate it and we can pay for your efforts. Best regards." They like my content. They watched my videos and they love my video style very much. In fact, they watched it so much, they realized that the channel is about nothing but jewelry and chocolate. So therefore, they want me to promote their product. So I wrote them back and said, "Hello. Judging by the content of your product in which you wish me to promote, I can see that you have absolutely not watched my content, or you would know that my channel has nothing to do with your product. If you would like me to make a video related to your product, I require a non-refundable $1,000 prepaid fee for consideration. Once paid, your product information can then be sent for evaluation by my team of experts," which would be me. "At that time, should we agree to proceed making the video, a final price can be determined. If you wish to move forward with this collaboration, I will need you to send the $1,000 via PayPal to me as a friends and family with a note referencing the unique ID of," and then I just put in a bunch of garbage characters. And of course, it's from a Gmail account. So, yeah, it just, nope. I don't mind doing sponsorships. Like I will venture outside of our bubble to a point, but jewelry and chocolate gift boxes. So does anybody in here not know that I'm diabetic? One, I think I've said that enough times on the channel in enough places where everybody could figure that out. So chocolate, that isn't gonna work. And then jewelry. I mean, is it a build your own jewelry set? Because if not, then it doesn't fall into the maker. Therefore, why. So spammer. And surprisingly, they did not send me the 1,000 US dollars to my PayPal account. Nor did they even bother to reply. Oh, Mark is so far behind today. And when it finally catches up, he's going to be like, "Oh my God, I'm not watching this live." I'm going to shoot him a message on the Twitters. I wonder if he started late and then went back and started watching from the beginning. So he's about, 10 minutes behind us. Why not do a remote into the other computer? So Mark, when you finally get here, he said, okay. So Mark, when you finally get here, I don't, that machine is so important to me. I don't have any remote access to that machine whatsoever. Not even internally. I don't want any outside holes open to that machine. So I just think it would be really cool to be able to have the Prusa profiles. Oh, easier. Yay! Of course, you missed all the stuff of us making fun of you. Now you're going to have to go back and watch that part of the stream later. No, it was just a couple of times. It was a couple of times like you had said something. I'm like, yeah, we touched on that. Like, so, but anyway, whatever. I just think it would be really cool to have the Prusa profiles on a centralized spot. I mean, all my machines access my network drives. So if I could sort them, it's like to a map drive, that'd be neat. If not, it doesn't matter. I can't imagine I'll be doing a ton of slicing down here. I still think all the slicing will be done up there, but it would have been super convenient to do it today, now, here, right now. But it's fine. I'll get it done. I'll slice it out. I'll slice it out in the morning when I'm at my other computer and start the print probably at lunchtime, because I don't mind leaving that thing by itself. I'll leave it unattended. I don't care. It seems to do a fine job. But it is, see if this will let me sign in. It's from Thingiverse, which, how long has it been now that Thingiverse, if you have an ad block, Thingiverse won't let you download the files. It tells you have to disable your ad block. It's like, oh, that's just messed up. And no, I didn't go looking over on Prusa to see if somebody had moved the collection over there. I probably should. In fact, I will. I'll go look tomorrow before I print this one. I was going to share it with you guys just so anybody that cares can go take a look at it. I mean, the pictures look nice. The renderings are absolutely beautiful, but I'll see if this guy moved this one over to Prusa's site. Why can't you have Prusa Slicer on a main server? I don't know. Is that possible? Can you do that? Like actually like install it to the server drive? I don't know. It'd be neat. It would be neat if I could do that. Again, I do most of the slicing up there. So Zach has been growing his hair out because he hates haircuts. Plus, I think it's because Xander's hair is so long. But he decided that his hair looks like Anakin Skywalker. Now, I'm like geeky nerdy. I'm not crazy geeky nerdy Star Wars. I almost said Star Trek accidentally. But he says to me, I want to be Anakin Skywalker for Halloween. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. And he goes, but not, I don't know, not this Anakin Skywalker, this Anakin Skywalker. And I'm like, okay. And like, I completely mess with it. I've watched the original 3 Star Wars, which I guess are what, 4, 5, and 6. The next 3 I didn't really watch a lot of, but I can't even say that I've watched all 3 of them all the way through, if that puts it into perspective. But I always say to him stuff like, because he's like, well, I have to have a black glove for this hand because he got his arm cut off. And I'm like, wow, Darth Vader had that arm cut off too. What a coincidence. And it's just so fun to mess with him because, I mean, he always thinks that I don't know what I'm talking about. But, oh, I see what you're saying. It's a computer just like all the others. Yeah, but it's a Linux machine. My server runs Ubuntu. I just don't know if you can tell it where your profiles are. I mean, the other option is I just back my profiles up and restore them if I make changes. It's just trying to make it easy. It's not like I do a lot of 3D printing anymore. In fact, that's the only one that's printed anything since I moved down here. So, but so we have a collection of lightsabers, and most of them were unbelievably expensive, and they light up when you turn them on, and they make noise. But we also had some of them cheapy ones where you'd and they. Well, nobody can seem to find the cheapy ones, and he doesn't want to carry one of the other ones because he wants to wear it on his belt. He doesn't want to have to carry it around. So the wife took him to the store yesterday, and he was going to buy a new one of those collapsible ones. They're $30. $30. And I'm like, no, pay $30 for that. That's ridiculous. So I said to him, we checked Walmart last night too, and they didn't have any at all. And I said, listen, but he said to me, he goes, they have one at Target. It is blue. It's just not Anakin's. And I'm like, dude, when you get to the door and you're like, trick or treat, nobody's going to be like, you're Anakin, but that's not Anakin's lights. So whatever. But I'm not paying $30 for something for him to use for, 2 nights. That's ridiculous. My wife has spent now like 4 days making his costume, which is also ridiculous. Being that we bought him a costume last year for this year. So, nope. So that's why I said to him, I said, how about if I print you this and we'll just, spray it up, make it look pretty, and you can wear it on your belt. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, brilliant. It'll cost me like $1. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to print that on a stream because I have to have it for next week. I have to have it before next week's stream, but I will definitely share it with you guys after it is complete. So I should be able to have the whole thing printed tomorrow. 3D gloop it together, little filler primer and some sanding, and then spray paint, and it should look just great. 50-50, 50 feet away at 50 miles an hour. 3D printing to the rescue. That wood doesn't smell like campfire. It literally smells like a burning building. It's like, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. I think it's on the second pass of the outline now, which I would like that to have been a little darker, but we'll see how the rest of it goes. Because if by whatever chance, when it's done, if the outside's not dark enough, I'm going to run a third pass on that. So pretty much what you see now. The outline, the mouth, and the eyes are set to be a little bit darker than everything else. The face is a different setting. The crown is a different setting. And then the tongue and the letters will be the same. I mean, this actually looks good. I could have probably just left it like this. But we're going to see what happens when I burn pretty much all of it. I think if I would have just left it like this and done a real fine sanding over the top of the wood, it would have been fine. This is nice I think it's birch. I don't remember. It's what I built the drawers of my desk out of. At the time, it was probably affordable. Now it would probably be like $4 million for that piece. But I don't know if anybody has joined us recently, but if I've missed you, welcome. Sometimes you guys sneak in like those spammers. I am looking forward to the cooler weather finally getting here. I want to do a couple of these streams from the garage, which would be nice if I wasn't also just completely drenched in sweat during that whole thing. Hey Vince, welcome. Sorry that James isn't here. His mom stopped paying me to be his friend, so that joke will never get old. That's all there is to it. I've been playing way too much Red Dead Redemption, which is probably why I can't get anything else done. I don't know if last week I told you, but we added a third member to our posse, which is a friend of Xander's, a young man that we go to church with. And let me tell you, 3 people in the posse, way better than 2, because you get people that are griefing you, and you can just totally put the smack down on them when you got 3. So Paul Cumber said, I'll send you the snow. That'd be fantastic. Just pile it up around the outside of the garage and keep it nice and cool in there. Gonna be the talk in the neighborhood. Glenn can afford to burn wood. Yeah. Yeah, I'm afraid that I'm gonna have to go find some firewood for this winter, because they're saying it is gonna be quite chilly this winter, and of course with the prices of everything going up, electricity included. Oh, and then I got some rough news this week too. So my insurance company is pulling out of the state of Florida, as are most insurance companies, because they, as a general rule of thumb, like to take your money, but don't like to pay out when things go wrong. So when all of a sudden something happens, they're like, "Oh, it's the end of the world, and we're never going to recover financially from this." Yeah, whatever. So my insurance company is no longer writing policies or renewing policies in the state of Florida, and there's all kinds of stuff. The governor's trying to fight it, and get things taken care of, whatever. So I have to switch insurance companies. But they did a Zillow lookup on my house and seen that I have a trampoline. Trampoline's got to go. Zach is not happy at all. But I said to him, we'll just take it down and we'll put it up at a later date when it's all clear. Paul said, you don't get snow there. No, we definitely do not get snow here. It has snowed. I have been in Florida since 1979, and it has snowed twice here in Florida that I know of. I think it's snowed in Jacksonville and the very north part of Florida a couple times. But for me, I've only seen snow twice in Florida. One time it was these like little flurries that absolutely just melted as soon as they touched anything. And then the last time they were almost like little tiny balls of ice, not like hail. They were about BB size. And it looked like it was snowing, but then you go out there and you were getting pelted by it. But no, otherwise, no, it's entirely too hot here. It doesn't stay cold enough long enough for it to actually do anything. So now we've had a couple of super cold nights. We've had a couple of, nights that dropped below freezing. We were in the 20s last year, and I ran a sprinkler on the yard, and it completely iced over the whole yard. It was magnificent. But sleet, yeah, there you go. Cover it in camo netting. I told my neighbor, I said I should put some kind of a roof over it, but then it's going to be really tall. You'll hit your head. I wish that I had the space to put it in the garage. The garage ceiling is high enough that if we set it up in there, but so our trampoline, it's got the 6 poles that go around it to hold the safety net around it. And I put PVC pipe with a sprinkler head on 3 of those so that it's like a water park for the kids. And Zach and his friends absolutely love it. Even if they don't feel like jumping on the trampoline in the summertime, they'll just get up there and turn the sprinklers on and like sit in the sprinklers, and cost me $1 million in water, but whatever. So by taking that away, that's going to be rough. So I'm going to have to come up with some kind of a solution. I'm thinking maybe just a paver patio and some sprinkler heads. And then I thought about getting irrigation valves and hooking it up to an Arduino with like a code with like random selector. So it sprays over here and then it sprays over, just to kind of jazz it up for him a little bit. I mean, he is almost 40 years old now, but he's 11. He'll be 12 this year. So, but he still likes stuff like that. So, but yeah, he was quite disappointed to hear that. I said, well, maybe we'll just drag it over into the next door neighbor's yard and put it over there for a little while. Got rid of the trampoline. But he's also undergoing the same problem. His insurance company is. His is not pulling out for another year. They're going to pull out November of 2023. However, his policy has gone up like $1,000. So he's looking for a new insurance company as well. That's the problem when you live somewhere with natural disasters, or places with insurance companies, which are also disasters. Well, that burn is looking pretty good. That laser does a really clean job. I can't wait to see if it'll cut the acrylic like they say it will. I will have a piece of acrylic in here next week. It's going to stink, but just to run a small test, we'll cut like a circle and see how it does. Plus, then I can do a little research and determine if there's anything weird that I have to do. Now this looks like it's the second. This looks like it's the second burn of the outside, but maybe this is burning the inside of the letters. I don't know. Let me walk around, put my head in there for a second. See if I can tell where that is. Yeah, that's burning the inside of the letters now. So absolutely positively, I'm going to have to burn that outline again. Otherwise, those letters are pretty much going to disappear. I didn't want to overburn it, but I wanted to, so those letters, for those of you who speak laser, the outline, the part that has already burned, here comes that singer again. The part that's already burned is set to a speed of 4,500 millimeters per second with a power of 60%. And it is set, I thought it was set for 2 passes, but now I don't know. Yep, 2 passes. And I don't know if it did both those, but I would think so on the amount of time that took. Then the inside of the lettering where it's burning now, and it is a little bit lighter. I guess not really as light as I wanted it, but all right. So the inside of the letters are 5,000 millimeters a second, a little bit quicker, at 50% power. So less laser, single pass, and faster. Then the face is going to burn at 6,000 millimeters a second at only 20% power. just to give it just a nice light tone. And then the crown is going to go back in at 6,000, but 40%. So the crown will be a little darker than the face, in theory. And the face will be the lightest out of all of them. The tongue and the letters are going to match. But I think I want that outside. I think I want that outside part even darker. So I might run it again. We'll see. I'm new here, you know. I'm just going to have to keep experimenting until I figure it out. I did download, and I can't give the guy credit because I can't remember who I downloaded it from. I'll have to find out. But it's an image that he made, and you section it out. It's I think it's almost like a pie chart. But you section it out and you set different speeds and different percentages. That's starting to burn the back of my throat. And then you burn that in, and then you can see, like, okay, 1 millimeter a second at 100% laser is entirely too slow on paper. Louisiana hobby guy. I don't know. I have it open in a tab on my other computer. I don't know. I'll have to look. I found him through another YouTuber, a lady that has this laser engraver. And she was like, well, I got this and blah, blah. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get that. And then I just, I didn't do that. I didn't take the time to set it up. But it makes sense. I mean, even if you were just to do, instead of a pie chart, if you just did a line, if you did a line at this and a line at this, and like 3 millimeters and made it, I don't know, 50 millimeters long, and you did it at different percentages, you could do a couple sets of those. So like here it is at 20% at 5,000 millimeter, but here it is at 20% at 6,000 millimeter. And then you could see different tones. And of course you have to burn that on a sample of whatever it is that you're trying to actually engrave, which doesn't always happen. You don't necessarily always have a sample of whatever it is. I don't know. We'll find out. Again, I'm new to all of this. Now, I am thinking about, and I'm going to have to come up with a way to do this. It'd be so cool if I could run this off of a Raspberry Pi. I wonder if Octoprint would handle this. It's G-code. But anyway, I digress. I'm thinking about setting this up right outside the studio in the garage. One, so I don't have to smell it. And two, I don't worry about the reflection coming off the wall and blinding me. And then I would still be here. Plus, I could put a camera right there to keep an eye on it. So when I'm doing stuff, streaming and stuff, I could be burning. Plus, if I'm in the garage and I want to do something, it's right there as a garage tool. So, because the reason that I'm excited about the acrylic, if it works for the acrylic, is I need to make some dividers for my sump for my turtle tank. And if I can, yes, Uncle Ron, that turtle tank. Uncle Ron helped me move it to the other garage like forever ago, and I still haven't set it up. So, but I was just going to hand cut all of that acrylic. But if I can cut it with the laser, like I can do the weirs and stuff just perfectly and not have to worry about it. I am pew-pewing. It's actually turning out pretty good. I don't know. I think it looks like it's running out of laser over on the right side there inside the 3D. It looks a little a little lighter, but I suppose that could be the wood too, right? I mean, the grain of the wood would make it burn a little different. 24/7 Hinky said, I made an enclosure for my resin printer with a bathroom extractor fan going outside. That's a great idea. When I got my, no, it wasn't my resin printer. In fact, it was the AM8. I was going to actually put the AM8 in an enclosure and vent it out one of the windows because I wanted to do, ABS and polycarbonate and stuff, but didn't want to breathe all that. Just never did it. I find PETG works for just about everything that I could ever want to make. However, Zach's lightsaber will just be PLA because I'm currently out of PET gloop, but I have some PLA gloop. So I'm going to make it out of PLA. Plus, I have tons and tons. I probably have enough PLA and enough colors that I could print the whole thing in color and not have to paint it, but we'll see how that goes. Gloopy. Yeah, I definitely think I want to run a second, well, technically a third pass on the border. I'd like that border to be darker. I was going to say, I know I couldn't get it to be black, but I suppose if I slow it down enough and turn the power up, I could get it to be black, but it'd also be on fire. Yeah, so they sell for $75. They sell a kit that extends the y-axis, and I can't remember how long, but it's pretty significant. I think it like doubles it, so it would be 400 by like 800 long, which would be kind of cool. But I also seen a YouTube video on how to do part of your engraving and then be able to move your engraving and line it up. It uses, so somebody will know what I'm talking about, marks. And then you set it back to that laser point again, and then it'll continue on. It didn't look like it was that difficult to do. So if you did want to do bigger stuff, and this thing is super light. So again, I'd like to try throwing it on an old car hood and seeing what it does to automotive paint. Registration marks. It would figure that it would be Mark that would know what it was. Thank you, Mark. Mark knows all the marks. If there's a mark in the world, Mark knows it. Yeah, I'm digging this. It's just, and of course, I'm seeing the same thing you guys are. I'm not looking at it in real life because I want to see other things later. So that weird, like the F looks darker than the 3D, but it could also be too. The way that we're looking at that is actually turned like this. That 3D is closer to me and the F is further away. So, and these are the only lights in the room. So it could just be an optical illusion as well. 24/7 Hinky, how much was that laser system? Would it be cheaper to buy a laser head and make a frame myself? Okay, so I got this bad boy for free. It was sent to me for evaluation. There is a link to it in the description to the newer, the S9, which it's sitting at $429 right now. But if you shop around on Amazon, you'll actually find it for down in the 300 something range. As far as building your own, I don't know. I mean, probably. You probably could. The problem is you're going to end up having to buy like more wheels than you need, and you're going to have to buy more whatever than you need, and then you're also going to have to figure out, what control board you're going to run. I'm not saying it can't be done. It probably can. Is it worth it? I don't know. Now these extrusions, they're just 20 by 20 extrusions. They're pretty sweet because they have these nice little gradient marks on it. It's got the measurements across, which is good for just a quick reference. But I mean, is that crucial? Nah, you could get a sticker to do the same thing. So, I mean, yeah, we make stuff all the time. There's no reason that you couldn't. So whether or not it would be cheaper, that's always the question. Because I usually look at stuff and I'm like, I'm not paying that. I'm just going to make my own, and it costs me 3 times as much. Of course, I always use like the best of everything too. Trying to listen and tune a live trap at the same time, having an issue with a critter and going to trap relocate. Is that live trap a 22 caliber? Because that'll generally take care of it. I got a critter in my yard too. It's about 450 pounds and likes to get in my trash, and it pisses me off, and there's nothing I can do about it. You call the Florida wildlife, and they're like, well, if it didn't eat your face, it's a protected animal, and you got to leave it alone. It's not my garbage, and there's nothing you can do to stop them either. Right? You put straps on your garbage can. It doesn't matter. They'll eat through the garbage can to get through it. I mean, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's a bear. It's a bear. It's a really large guy that lives next door, and he gets it. No, it's Florida black bears. I had heard something out in the yard one night and went out there. Oh, the first issue I had, I went to feed the dog, and the dog food container was gone off the back porch. It's an open porch, but it's a big sealed container, and it was just missing. So I'd asked my wife, I said, did you do something different with the dog food? And she's like, no. So I put on my boots, and I brought some hardware with me, and I went walking in the woods across the street, and I found the dog food container, and it was just completely obliterated open, and there was dog food all over the ground, and you could see this big, like, swirled flat spot where it had planted its butt and sat and ate dog food. So we started storing the dog food inside, and then I heard something out in the yard one night and went out there with the flashlight and clicked the flashlight on, and it was sitting, it was probably, I don't know, 60 feet away from me. Oh, I looked out and I could see something white in the yard. And so I click on the flashlight, and he's sitting out there. He's got a garbage bag. And when I click the light on him, he immediately grabs the bag with his mouth and swings like this to run and slings garbage all over the yard. So I go out to clean it up. It wasn't even my garbage. It was the neighbor's garbage all over my yard, and I had to clean it up. I'm like, great. So we just make it more difficult to get into our cans than the neighbor's cans, and then it generally goes to the neighbor's houses instead. Sorry, little squirrel there. Bear, whatever. Relocated 6 feet down. Yeah. Well, it depends on what it is. You might want to eat it. Yeah, I definitely want that border to be darker now. I probably should have just not burned the letters at all. I should have just left it just that outline. It looked good. It's okay. We're going to make it work. Oh, and then, I got an idea. I'm not going to say anything. I know where this is going, Uncle Ron. I know where this is going. I gotta add a little bit more to it. But I totally know where this is going. So once it's done, then I'll share it with you. I'll get it hung where it's going, and then I'll show you guys. I'm proud of myself. It's a great idea. Which gives me yet another idea for somewhere else. And I can't share any of it with you. You'll have to wait. Bears are hard to get rid of, Paul. I find if you punch them really hard in the nose and say no, they'll go away after they eat your face above the urinal. All right, so it just outlined something. Oh, okay. So I'm not happy about that. Like, it didn't do anything to the face. Let me turn the light on. I don't run this light because it's incandescent and it's yellowy, and it also shines on my head. So definitely, like, you can see the darkness here. This is a grain issue. But yeah, this doesn't look good now. It would have been better without it being burned at all. So I'm going to go around it one more time, and I think I'm going to leave the face alone. I should have left the tongue alone too. Dang it. Well, again, so what time is it? So that really only took about an hour and 46 minutes. That's not terrible. In your face. I want to see a video on that. When I scold the bear, you mean? All right, so I'm going to, and you guys can tell me if this is nuts, but I'm going to, that black border, let's see, I'm going to turn off everything else. Maybe I'll pick up the speed on the second pass. Well, all right, so that border has already done 2 passes. 4,500 speed at 60. Would I be crazy to bump that power to like 70% to try and darken it out a lot? I mean, if I start and it looks real bad, I could stop. Or if it catches on fire, I could stop. Trying to think where my fire extinguisher is. I think I have one right outside the door. I mean, I also have a sink of water right there. I could pick it up and put it underwater, but same power, another pass. Could bump power, bump speed. Well, come on, you guys make up your mind. You two discuss it and then tell me what I should do. So if I bump the power and bump the speed. Now again, Mark, that's 2 passes on that already at 60%. All right, I'll leave it at 60 and I'll run just another pass over the top of that. I haven't moved it, so everything should be good. How well do you want to know your local fire department? Actually, I already know those guys pretty good. I always bring them cookies at Christmas time. All right, so I'm leaving the power, leaving the speed, just running another pass over the top. Here we go. And it's a little rocky because it's on a garbage can, but the whole thing rocks. So I think I should have turned the speed way down and just let it just cook it in there. That's where you should run and label test burns. I know. This is my test burn. I mean, it might not even be possible to do what I want to do on this particular plywood. I mean, the nice white part, you see the birchy part is really super thin. It's really thin veneer. All right, we'll see what happens. We still got, what, 40 minutes. Too slow, flares and blooms on the wood. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'd also like to change that to a line and have it go around the outside of it. Do you have air assist? Just the air conditioning. Yeah, no air assist. It's not that fancy. I mean, if I got into this in a production level, then I would think about it. I didn't even know what it was until Uncle Ron told me about it the other day. But I mean, this is purely just a hobby machine to me, unless I can figure out a way to make money with it. But then I won't want to do it anyway. So let me throw my special eyeballs back on and go take a look. And I can't really tell. Can't really tell even where it is. No, it's just at the bottom of the letters, the parts that don't hang down. It's now touching the bottom of every letter. So that's still not going to be dark enough. I definitely shouldn't have burned into the letters at all. I should have just left them. I should have left them plain, but we'll see. I guess that's how you learn. Get a compressor for a fish tank. You can change the scan direction, have it do digital at first, and then second pass is horizontal, even make a crosshatch look. Send them out. God, you guys are making this hard. I'm supposed to push a button and it produces what I want. Why has it got to be work? Where do you change the direction? Cut selected graphics, start from, show last position. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play with this more. So my problem, where my hangups come from, and it's true. Like when I'm trying to teach myself, I just want to check my battery level. My batteries are low. Give me a second. I'm gonna swap these out, so it'll just be quiet for a minute. So, by the way, I didn't actually say anything during that. I just made it look like I was. That'll be fun for somebody later. Anyway, what I was saying is, like, if I'm learning a programming language, I have a hard time just following the tutorial. They're like, oh, well, write code to do this. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to write code that makes it do this. And so I can't really follow a tutorial. So I kind of have the same issue here. I just want to try things. So, but you changed your mind on what you wanted. So button option is done. Oh, the button option only works if you do it right the first time. Yeah, if I burn the outline in like dark enough and deep enough, then the letters will be easy to sand out. But I mean, honestly, I have still probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 more pieces of this lumber. So I bought the sheets to make the drawers, and when I cut them and I cut all the pieces out I needed, this was the drop at the end. So it was technically scrap, but I don't throw anything away. So I still have a couple pieces of this out there. So if this doesn't work, I can burn another one because I have a great idea for this. Of course, then I'd want to like route the outside of it so it's all pretty and stuff, but it's okay. I have an idea. Hello, Chris Lane. Chris Lane, how is life in Southwest Florida right now? How are you doing down there, buddy? As we wait the delay to get an answer. I don't know. It's not looking too bad. It just, I don't know. I guess in my mind, you can burn different shades, but really it comes down to it's either burned or it's not burned. Could route the edges, but some derelict took your router table. Chris said, life is good. That's good. Ready for Orlando Maker Fair in a few weeks. I know. I can't believe that it's like literally right around the corner. I'm so excited. I'm glad that I'm not. I'm glad that I'm not exhibiting. I almost did it. I almost went ahead and signed up to be an exhibitor. I bought my tickets and I was going to sign up to be an exhibitor anyway. Just because last year I felt bad that I didn't exhibit because they had a severe lack of exhibitors. But I feel good not exhibiting this year because I didn't want the pressure. I had such a great time just hanging out with everybody last year and not having to worry about being stuck at my table. So Xander seems to think that we should do farts at White Castle this year. I heard they let residents through the causeway to Sanibel yesterday. You know, it's amazing. It's amazing how they can fix those causeways and bridges and stuff after a disaster so quickly, and yet when they're just building it, it takes them years. 50 Shades of Burnt Gray. Yeah, no pressure. And also what I'm working on right now is top secret. Yeah, but if you show it off at Maker Faire, everybody will know. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I hope your dad, I just hope your dad gets better, period. Maker Faire or not. So that's the question. Are we taking the after party to that iDrive Golden Corral again? I'm fine with it. Just hate tourist drive. It was awful. I will try to come up with a better venue than that. I'd like to keep it at Golden Corral just because it kind of works for everybody. I mean, like, and they have really great fried chicken, but yeah, that particular location is in a terrible, terrible spot. That was, I mean, it was like 2 days of Maker Faire, but also 2 days to drive to Golden Corral. So, what if you set up a test so it has just the F and the face, so you can do several small tests on one piece? Yeah, that'd be all right. I mean, I can cut it up and clip it up, and I don't know. I mean, like, I kind of thought that like the crown needed, you know, like to be a little toasted or whatever, and I don't know. And I mean, I'm guessing that stuff. Like, I put in 20% from 50% on everything else, 20% for the face, which did like nothing. But I don't know. Like, I mean, is 5% major? You know, if instead of going from 50 to 60, should I be going from 55 to 52? Does that make a difference? You know, like, I have no idea. So I didn't want the face to get cooked, because then it blends into his eyeballs and it just looks like a splat. They say an F on King's face. I don't even know. Like, I mean, again, it doesn't even have to be the logo. I could just do boxes. I could do squares at different burn rates, whatever. And then I could say, okay, you know, this one is 10%. This one is. So you also need to set up feeds speed tests with circles. See, this sounds like no more fun. I'm just going to throw this thing in the trash. You guys are making this way, way more work than I thought it was going to be. I just want to draw something and push the button. Yeah, send it over. I'll take it. I love to be spoon-fed. Yeah, I know. I want to use same settings for every material. Aluminum, wood, plastic, paper. I'm gonna burn on this paper towel at 70% power. Kind of like my first test where I burned on the cardboard at 100. That did not go well. And Zach wanted to be there for the first burn, and then I was like, he was gone, and I wanted to do it, and yeah, so it didn't happen. Let me go put my real eyeballs on it, or my real protected eyeballs on it. Just want to see if I can tell a difference. Now I can't see the chat from here, but the question I'm going to ask is, when burning wood, is there like a certain point where it's just not going to get any darker? Will it? I mean, other than catch it on fire, of course. I mean, is there a limit to what the material will do? Looks like there's a Golden Corral on the same road about 15 miles east. Okay, because the one to the west is the one that's closed up. So that might work. All right, Mark said, yep. So there is a limit then. I mean, I know that, Sex Chat's back. Good job, Mark. Get him. Char or catch on fire. Charcoal's awful dark. Yeah, but I don't want it burned. It just, I didn't know if there was like it was only going to go so far. And I reckon that it would totally depend on the species of wood, the direction of grain. Did I try popcorn in it yet? In the laser? I've seen people do Twinkies and toast, and I haven't done. I've only ever burned on this wood. I was kind of disappointed that Xander's logo didn't come out because the font portion of it looked great, but the actual Jolly Roger, like it went over it so fast, it just didn't do anything. So no, I do have Twinkies in the house. What settings would you use for a Twinkie? Because obviously, if you go at that too much, you're just going to cut through it. I'd say once you varnish the wood, it would give it depth. That might work too, yeah. Sanders logo, so it'll be okay. Yeah, that's the first thing that we've ever like physically had with his logo on it. So that's right. The Glencoe Laser Company. Set it and forget it. My back's gonna be killing me after this stream. I'm trying to stay down. I should get some kind of a curtain to put between me and it. But of course, I'm going to eject it out of here. I don't know how we'll make that work out, but it'd be nice to just not have it in the room. There's also like a utility room just out the door here. It could sit in that room too, you know, because it's gonna circulate the smell in here. I'd like to get rid of my nose is, like, stinging. So this particular pass is now at 42%, 16 minutes. We should make it. It should finish this pass before the stream is done. I would also think that as soon as it's done with the letters, it's going to go faster because it's going from this wide down to, and that thing's about 320 millimeters wide. I don't know if you guys can tell that, but it's pretty big. A confession box to store it in. Use a 12-volt wall wart and a PC fan to make a vent for it. Yeah, but I don't want to have to poke holes in anything. Like I don't have to run like vents through the wall. I can put it in the bathroom. There's a fan in the bathroom. I'll just rip the sink out. In fact, the shower in there is big enough. I could just put it on the shower floor. Nobody showers in there anymore anyway. So nobody answered me the question on what kind of power on a Twinkie. I'd like to do toast too, bread. I'd like to draw. I'd like to put Zach's face on a piece of toast. Tie into the vent for the bathroom. Yeah, but if I put it right outside, if I put it right outside the studio door, it's in the big garage, and it's not gonna cause. I do worse stuff out there than this thing can. I mean, welding and torching and. Hit up tripod. He did Twinkies and toast. I will do that. Tripod's garage is known for lasering food. That's a weird thing to be known for. Oh, you're the guy that lasers food. Yeah, and then I've got to seriously strap in after Christmas lights are up and get the rest of the 3D printing stuff from upstairs and get it down here. I don't know how to store the filament. I don't want it in racks on the walls. I don't want to put it in cabinets. I guess I could fill the kitchen cabinets. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll just put it all up in these kitchen cabinets because we don't have any dishes in there. I mean, Sean left some of his stuff behind. I guess it was just the stuff he didn't want. But I could just empty all that out and put it all up in those cabinets. That might be the best bet. That's all he's known for, nothing else at all. Post on Twitter just that. What are the laser settings for burning, for engraving on Twinkies? Do you have to remove them from the plastic wrapper first? Oh, that would be a disgusting mess. Yeah, let me look at the calendar. Yeah, we're what? 2 weeks? 2 weeks off of Orlando Maker Faire, aren't we? Yeah, wow. Whew. 2 weeks to Orlando Maker Faire. So I guess this is your notice. There will be a stream next week, but there will not be a stream the week after. And I can't stream from Orlando Maker Faire because the internet there is garbage. Garbage. They always tell us that they're going to upgrade it, not the Maker Faire people, but the Central Florida Fairgrounds. Oh yeah, we're working on getting it upgraded for the last 12 years. So otherwise, I would absolutely fire up a stream because the Andrews from the Gloop will be there, and I don't know who else. I mean, obviously Chris Lane will be there, and I'll be there. I'm pretty sure Alien Josh will be there. So it's a good time. It's a good time. It's just too bad so many people live so far away and can't come hang out with us. And then, of course, farts. Farts is always a good time. We had a pretty good sized table last year. So the first year we did it, for those of you who don't know what farts is, it's the Florida Area Rep Rap Talking Supper. It's at Golden Corral. You go for the farts and you leave with the poops. But the first year I went in, I just said to the manager, hey, we got a pretty good sized group coming in. Is this going to be okay? And they actually gave us the little party room in the back. So that was kind of neat. And then we've never gotten the party room since. I mean, I guess I could pick the restaurant and make a phone call ahead of time. Except for I don't like making phone calls. But, you know, we could try to work it out where we end up with it. I just never know how many people are going to be there. I'll have to check with Felipe and see if he's coming. Felipe. He's about due to guest host on here again, too. He hasn't been on in a while. But he was there last year. Him and his two boys. All right, now we're getting down to it. I can't really tell like how high up it is without going over there, but I think as soon as it breaks over into the head, yeah, because now we're already at 64%, and it's only been another 10 minutes. So Mark said, okay, I just got an answer back from a friend. He said, so long as you have a drive on a server set up as a hard drive so you can access it like you would on laptop PC, you can put Prusa slicer. So all right, so let's say I map in P drive for printing. I just install it to that from all machines, and then it'll technically use the same instance. I'll give that a go. I mean, I know some software will work that way and some don't. I just didn't know if the Prusa slicer had an option for remotely mounting or remotely placing your profile files. I mean, I'm really down to just the 3 printers now. I don't need to slice for anything. I probably will not use the rest of the printers. I'll probably find them new homes. But yeah, and the guy who did the 3D printing at our local library isn't there anymore. And so now they're not doing it, which kind of stinks, but kind of goes with the times, I guess. But yeah, I only need the couple profiles. All right, I'll give it a go, Mark. Thank you. See what I can work out. It's weird. It's weird to like come up with an idea that somebody else hasn't thought about. Maybe if it works, I can make a video about it. Put it on a YouTube channel. Wouldn't that be the same as how a print farm works? Kind of, except for the print farm isn't really the slicer. I mean, at least not the way I understand it, because like with Octoprint, it's just feeding the G code to the printer. It's not actually doing the slicing. I don't know. Again, I probably won't. I would have sliced that up today. Is the issue, and I probably still could have. I could have installed Prusa Slicer on this machine and just used the factory. It's a Prusa machine. I could have just used the factory settings, but there's little tweaks and things that I've done to it to make it my own, and I'd like to be able to have that on all of them without, like version control. Like I don't want to tweak it in one place and then have it not be that way in the other place and be like, oh, what was it that I did? Yeah. So I'll definitely, I'll give it a go. Probably won't be this week though. I'll just get that thing sliced up and get it printing. Because generally what I do is I slice it up there. I send it to the Octoprint down here. And then I come down here, make sure everything is good, and then actually print it from here so I can, watch it for 5 seconds before I leave it. So no, but you set up a print and send to printer A, another print to printer B. Yeah, I guess in theory. All right, now it looks like we're doing just the head. Yep, I'll definitely play with it. It'll probably be a while though. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I really got to get shifted into Christmas light mode this week. It's as much as I love doing it. I love the light show. I love the reactions. I love how happy it makes people. The anxiety of having to do that much work, it's a punch in the gut every time I think about it. And this year we're adding 2 additional mega trees, which are like I think they're going to turn out to be 10 feet tall. And I think instead of Skywalker, Xander could be Zach that's doing it, and no, he's got to be Anakin. But yes, a giant Yoda toothpaste head would be pretty funny. Anyway, 2 more 10-foot trees, all light like my big tree, and we're going to try to add a 16-foot long RGB matrix to the front of the house. I got the controller for it. I just have to get the LEDs and get it put up, and it may not happen this year, but we'll see. So I think majority it's a cost situation because it's not cheap to do it, but we'll find out. Yeah, it's Zach. So my wife went to the fabric store and bought some material and a pattern. And of course, it's not a Star Wars pattern, like she kind of pieced it together and stuff. And she's been working for days now to put it together. And she gets really frustrated when things don't go well, like most of us. But Zach's totally happy with it. And again, I mean, he just didn't want to carry a full lightsaber. He said his arm would get tired after like 2 seconds. So yeah, Xander's a little old for Halloween. He generally goes with us, but he doesn't do any trick-or-treating or anything anymore. He's trying to find somebody that's having a Halloween party so he can DJ it, but he hasn't had any luck with that yet. Yeah, this is going much quicker now. We're at 78%. It might finish like just in time. It's coming down to the wire. I only have 10 minutes to get this job done or I lose everything. Oh, Chris Lane said, I'm being Obi-Wan for a work Halloween party. Oh, thank God my job doesn't do Halloween parties. Thank God. I would just have to come up with an excuse to not be there. they sent out the invitations to the Christmas party, and I I got got it out of the mail, and I said to my wife, I said, all right, let's see if we win the lottery. And she's like, what? And I said, invitation for the Christmas party. And so she's like crossing her fingers. Turns out it's at the hotel that we wanted it to be at. So I'm not going to say where it is because I don't want anybody showing up there trying to get me to take pictures and sign autographs and stuff. I hate when that happens. But no, honestly, so we do it at a resort every year. And they picked one and it was fantastic. And then they picked a different one and it was okay. And then they went back to the first one. It was great. Then they picked another different and it was awful, like this. And so now it's just been consecutively at the same one every time. And it's just so much better. So I got a lightsaber from Ultra Sabers. I have one from Galaxy's Edge, but it's way too bulky and heavy. Well, see, and that's Zach. He wants to be able to wear it on the belt. If he has to carry it, my wife will end up carrying it because I don't go trick or treating. I stay. We go to a friend's neighborhood, and I stay at the house with him, and we hand out the candy to the kids, and the wives take the kids trick or treating. But we don't trick or treat here because the houses are so far in between that nobody comes to this neighborhood and nobody gives out candy in this neighborhood. You'd have to walk for like an hour between houses. But Xander's got a couple nice electronic ones and stuff. He doesn't want it where it doesn't collapse. So, and I'm sure that the ones that we had that collapsed, they probably took them outside to play with them and didn't bring them back in, and the sun rotted them, and I probably threw them away at some point. I don't know. Florida is very hard on stuff if you leave it outside. I'm the chauffeur. Yeah, technically, I chauffeur him over there, and then I chuck out candy. So I guess it would have been what, 19? Yeah, it would have been 2019. So the pandemic was starting, and everybody was like unsure if they were going to trick or treat or whatever. So I took a 10-foot long piece of rain gutter. Their front yard is a slope, and we just set up a rain gutter running down, and the kids would put their bag at the end of the rain gutter, and we just chuck it down the gutter into their bag. So nobody had to come within 10 feet of us. And it worked out great. And I sat there and ate candy and handed it out, which is, how I ended up with diabetes. Oh, wait, no, I had it before then. But no, it worked out fine. So, of course, now, the pandemic's over. But I don't think we went last year. Oh, their family was sick last year, unrelated, not the COVID. So we didn't end up doing that. We went to some trunk or treats last year. This year, a couple of the local trunk or treats are on Saturday night. So Zach gets to go to those, and then he'll actually go trick or treating on Monday night. So double dipping. Bonus candy. This will probably be his last year, though. I think he's finally reaching that age where the mysteries are going away, and that's all I'm going to say. I won't push any further into that. So Xander was slightly younger than, but Xander was always more mature for his age than Zach is. So Zach kind of holds on to all of that a little longer. As where Xander, we had to, he kind of gave up on all that stuff before. Which is why we had Zach, was because Xander was no fun anymore. It's not like he's going to go back and watch this stream. But come on, you can do this. Got 5 minutes. It's at 94%. It's funny because I always refer to Xander as number one son, and somebody questioned me on that one time, because I had said, "Oh yeah, no, that's Xander. That's my number one son." And they said, "That's really harsh. How do you think that your other child feels about that?" And I said, "About what?" And they said, "Well, the fact that he's your number one son and, the other son isn't as good." And I said, "Oh, he was born first. He's the number one son. The other one's the number two son. You know, uh, we don't have thin skin in our household anyway. So, but uh, so about 4 minutes to wrap up. I will admit these streams are way harder to do without having somebody else to talk to. But I think I made it through. I think we're there. You guys did great in the chat today. That's always appreciated, mainly when I'm by myself. I just love the interaction. That's the only reason that we still do these streams. It's definitely not for the money that we make. He used to call number two kid the backup. Well, right, in case you lose the number one kid. That's right. Thick skin with a layer of Kevlar. That's right. But yeah, so again, if you guys didn't catch the video that came out on Garage Channel this week, please do so. Please run over there immediately after this stream. Fire that up, even if you hit the mute button and go watch TV. I don't care. I just want the watch time so I can get my watch time up. I'm at 351 subscribers now, all organically grown, and it's fantastic. It is taking a long time, but I don't care. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm gonna not touch that because I really think that I want to run that over one more time. I'm gonna have to think about that, but I think I'd like to run that over one more time. Just not tonight. Not tonight. I gotta go eat. I'm starving. But yeah, so 351 organically grown subscribers, and I just think it's absolutely marvelous. I'm really trying to grow the Instagram, but you know what? I'm having a really, really hard time coming up with stuff to post on there. It's a completely different world. The automotive world just doesn't exist on Twitter. I end up just following all of the manufacturers, and they're not fun anyway. So, but I still can't believe you took the car apart, then put it back together, then apart again, and finally back together. Well, sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to. I refuse to throw parts at a problem. So, I mean, at the point that see, I don't want to give it away for those who haven't seen it. But at the point where I knew it wasn't this, that it was most likely this, I wasn't 100% sure. And if I would have thrown the money at the second thing and it would have turned out to not be that, I'd have been really upset. Because that system was working, which is really crazy. But for you to know what I'm talking about, you got to go tune in and watch. And listen, and I mean this wholeheartedly. I always look for feedback. If you ever watch one of my videos and something you don't like something, let me know. Or if something is great, let me know that too. Like, I can only get better if people tell me. And it's like, I don't know if I'm doing great because nobody gives me feedback, or if I'm not doing good and nobody's giving me feedback because they're not watching it. So feedback's always important as well. And if you don't want to leave it in the comments on YouTube, that's fine. I'm accessible. Twitter, email, Glenn, 2 N's, at FunKing3D or FunKingGarage.com. Either one will get you to me. If you just don't watch my stuff, well, then you don't have any feedback for me, do you? But so it's all good. But definitely some cool projects coming up. The one that's a secret, the one that I can't tell you about because it'll really spoil what I'm doing, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. That particular, I'll tell you, it's a car. That particular car is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think a lot of people will thoroughly enjoy watching that because of what it is. So that's all you get out of that. It's now 6:30, and I can't pick that thing up and show it to you. Can you guys like see it enough from there to know that it's burned? I just think that I want to do that outline one more time, maybe a little slower, maybe a little more power. I just want it to be a little darker. And then if that doesn't work, I'm going to burn another one. But either way, so let's come back over here. So I can say we appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in as I cough in the middle of that. Listen, these streams would be absolutely useless to do without you guys. I love the interaction. I love the chat. It's I get to learn so much from you guys, and I hope that you get at least somewhat entertained. If you are in the Orlando area, 2 weeks, Orlando Maker Faire. It is a fantastic, fantastic event. We really have a fantastically good time there. And farts will take place the Saturday night in between. So Maker Faire is Saturday and Sunday. Saturday night will be farts. If you're in the area but you don't want to go to Maker Faire, but you still want to come hang out at farts, that's cool too. Reach out to me. I will get you the information when that happens. And you get to meet Chris Lane. I mean, that's impressive right there. So thank you guys. Until we do it again, which will be next week. As always, Print on.